Welcome to the end of year report for the Honda ADV350, and in this one, rather than go through the good points and the bad points, because I think I've done that a million times before, instead I'm just going to give you a very quick summary of my overall owning experience now that I've had the scooter for 2.5 years and nearly 13,000 miles. Right, let's get cracking and on with the video. And it's funny, I was looking at some of the earlier videos that I did of the ADV350, and in particular the first impressions review, which I did after about 6 months, I think it was. And I think I was still a little bit cool and a little bit nonplussed about the scooter then. And I think that was all down to the fact I was still suffering from self-induced scooter stigmatization syndrome by proxy Munchausen's, you know, which is a very, very tricky condition, and it can take a lot of time to work it out of your system. But I think I'm over it now, and now I just don't give a flying fig for what anybody thinks about scooters. You know, they are just brilliant machines, and if I had the opinion many years ago that scooters were rubbish, I take it all back, and I wish I could have a word with my younger self, because scooters are brilliant. Isn't autumn the most fabulous time of the year? And as we like a little bit of French existentialism on this channel, as Andre Camus said, autumn is a second spring where every leaf is a flower. So I've now owned the scooter for 2.5 years. So it was registered in April 2023. And in that time, I've done a shade under 13,000 miles. And I have to say, in all of that time, I've had zero problems. No mechanical issues, no problems with any of the electronics, and no problems with the keyless ignition in it either. So it has been absolutely brilliant and dependable and completely 100% reliable. And at 13,000 miles, I have to say it's become a really indispensable part of my life, you know, both in terms of mundane aspects and also the wonderful aspects. And I don't think you can often say that about anything really, you know, and in particular motorcycles. So yes, it is now an indispensable vehicle in my garage, and I really wouldn't be without it. So in terms of plans then, well, I've got no plans in terms of modifying it, because there's nothing to do to it, you know, because for me it's just absolutely perfect as it is at the moment. However, my plans have changed with respect to swapping it. So the original idea was I was going to keep it for 3 years and then get a new one, which will be 2026. However, I'm not going to be doing any more long distance touring and staying away from home for any length of time for various reasons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one for another 12 months, which does mean I'll need to get the belts replaced next year. And I think the belts themselves are pretty cheap. Not quite sure how much it costs to get it done at the Honda dealership, but I think I probably will take a look at YouTube and see if I can manage it myself. I'm sure it's within my capabilities, but the only problem is when I take things apart, I always have like one screw left over, and I don't really fancy doing that. Anyway, I'll take a look. Yeah, so that's my plans really. No modifications. I won't be going on any more long distance trips on it. Well, I've got a few ideas what I might do with it, so no more long distance trips. Get the belts replaced next year, and I'll be looking to buy a 2027 model year ADV350 in 2027, funnily enough, because I think Honda might change it a little bit for that model year, and maybe there's going to be some funky colours. So if you're suffering from self-induced scooter stigmatization syndrome by proxy Munchausen's, I've set up a helpline, £75 for like 3 seconds, but it'll help you and it'll sort you out. And before I go, I would just like to say, I think in everybody's future there is a scooter. And on that note, I'll see you later. There's nothing worse than losing your shoe on a walk, is there? Right,